STM Locker Room meeting. So honored and excited to have each and every one of you here. Want to give a big warm welcome to the newest members that decided to join forces with us. And we come together on Saturdays, every Saturday at this time, to really talk about a lot of different things, whether it's leadership development, increasing our financial literacy, if you will, but also how this particular project fits in the global scheme of what's happening around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our hands on, it's the tip of the spear in terms of what's going on financially. And we have a lot of ground to cover today. I want to encourage everybody to take out pen and paper, to take some copious notes so that you can pass on any information to your team members that may not have been able to show up today. This is very, very important. We're getting ready to go into our fourth week of payout that we've laid out for everybody. There's people that's really taking this thing very, very seriously. And so for those of you that may be just pumping the brakes a little bit because of your past experiences, what I want to do today is really to help you take your foot off the brakes, because we really do have all green lights, and put the pedal to the metal, because there is no business project out there in the people-to-people space that rivals what we have. And I'm not sharing that biasly, you guys. What we were able to do is we were able to take years, decades of evaluated experience in the people-to-people space, all right? And we basically took all of the fluff, trimmed all the fat away from that environment, and we just bring in substance, all right, where it doesn't require a high level of skill set. If you came from the network marketing industry, which we are not, we wanted to bring something to the marketplace that really it's for 100% of the global population. So what do I mean by that? If you were in network marketing, you had a wellness product, you kind of basically pigeon-toed, your market share, because guess what? Everybody may not be interested in the wellness industry, especially young people who don't care anything about their health. Make sense? Or you may be in some type of trading platform where no one wants to sit in front of their computer all day long and look at candlesticks, right? Make sense? But when you have something that affects 100% of the global population, we're talking about cash flow. Everybody needs cash flow. There's 1.5 billion people that are unbankable. And when you have a project where you can show a person, a charity, or a church how to literally become their own bank, people, this is 100% mutual benefit. And we're going to lay this thing out for each and every one of you today. Now, before I jump into it, I want to just share this with you guys. For those of you that are tuned in for the very first time, sometimes I get extremely passionate, or whoever's doing or conducting the locker rooms, we get so passionate that sometimes we may say something that rubs you the wrong way, okay? And I want to just encourage you guys, anytime that happens, rather than saying who he think he talking to, just charge it to my head and not my heart, okay? Because we're not here to offend anyone. We really aren't. All right, we're just sick and tired of seeing people losing, okay, in the people-to-people space. Rug pulls, all that kind of stuff. We created something here for 100% of you to win that want to participate in your own rescue. Is that fair enough? Okay, so having said that, you guys, I want to really start off by talking about corporation versus cooperation. And I want to get you guys to really understand that this was designed and developed for cooperative economics, which is something that in the Western part of the world, we're not very good at. We're so individualistic. We want to compete with one another. We have various, maybe even leaders in the people-to-people space that their egos are in the way, that if we had leaders come together that really wanted to see their entire team win, all right, we can come together cooperatively and create something that's never been done in the people-to-people space. So it's about cooperative economics versus corporations. So the question I would have for you guys is, do you guys think that corporations are in place to enrich you or to enrich themselves, right? Most corporations are in place to enrich themselves. The Bank of America, they're in place to enrich themselves, not to enrich you when you put your deposits in their ecosystem, right? PayPal's in business as a corporation to enrich themselves, right? In cooperative economics, we're putting the power back in the hands of people. Okay, I want you guys to really understand that. So every dollar that you actually give to a corporation, what you're doing is you're empowering them and their dominance over you. I mean, really understand that. When you put your money into a bank, as an example, right, they have custody of your money. How many of you, even in the onboarding process, you've experienced your bank telling you, no, you can't do that, right? That's your money. So when you put your money, you give your money, you got to understand that your money is like votes to a politician. And so we have the opportunity to take a one-time out of pocket through cooperative economics and create cash flow on demand for 100% of the global population. That's extremely powerful if you guys can truly embrace that and understand that moving forward. I was talking to somebody, some of you may have heard of that movie Barbie, right? I never watched that movie Barbie, but it kind of broke all kind of records. Do you guys know in 3 days, in their opening week, they did over $160 million in 3 days? Think about that. What does that tell me? That tells me we have resources, but we rather take our resources and put it into making actors and entertainers rich. All right. So today I want to talk to you guys about developing the cooperative economics mindset and thinking like rich people do. Rich people, they buy time. They're interested in buying time, right? Poor people, they want to buy stuff to impress people they don't know or even like, right? Ambitious people, they buy skill sets. They'll invest in themselves to increase any skill sets they may have. Lazy people, they buy distractions, right? They want to escape. They just want to scroll through their phones all day and act like they're getting something accomplished. So this is all about giving people back economic power. That's what I want you guys to really, really understand. So let me go ahead and break some things down for you guys. Got a lot of stuff to cover. And I want to share my screen here. And we're going to dive right into this. Okay. Grab my stuff here. All right. So you guys, let me move myself out of the way because you guys can't see that. Let me go ahead and get myself out of the way there. So what I want you guys to understand, it's about cooperation versus corporation and the power of cooperative economics. The citizen wallet, and you guys have seen this in the presentation, all right, gives us extreme economic power. There's a statement out there that the Rothschilds, who are the godfathers of banking, okay, they're the ones that really implemented this worldwide. They were talking about how the fact of the matter is that if you give me the power to control the issuance and the supply of money, I can care less who writes your laws. And it's so true, you guys. And so for the first time in history, money is no longer just controlled by banks or governments, but by the people like you and I who use it. Most people, that goes over their heads. And so what we're doing is we're just simply looking for people whose opinion match ours. All right. We can care less about people who don't see what we see. We're simply looking to identify individuals, charities, churches who want to build an exciting financial infrastructure of the future. Donald Trump, in his first day in office, I want you guys to hear me very clearly. He's cutting a check for $500 billion for artificial intelligence infrastructure. You guys, that's $500 billion. We're $36 trillion in debt. The question is, where'd that money come from? Well, they're able to print it out of thin air. But the point that I want you guys to really understand is that artificial intelligence is where everything is heading. And a lot of people are going to be displaced by it. And it's not that people are going to be displaced by artificial intelligence, but they're going to be displaced by the people who use artificial intelligence. So everything is about basically infrastructure right now. Major corporations and players are building infrastructure. Mosca, we are building our infrastructure. We're insulating ourselves, creating a financial moat around us. So we want partners, we want collaborators and colleagues who want to join forces with us because, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to create real value here in the marketplace and generational wealth, okay? I want everyone to really embrace that. Now, having said that, our whole goal collectively is to have the citizen wallet be the world's most widely distributed digital asset, all right? We're going to be bigger than PayPal, bigger than Cash App. Why not? because we understand the value of cooperative economics and not just giving our money away to corporations who are only interested in enriching themselves. So we're not taught about money, in our schools and institutions. So this platform and this project was put together to allow money to fulfill its highest purpose, you guys. Because right now, money is not fulfilling its highest purpose. There's some serious centralization of power and economics going on right now as we speak. Okay? And so there's a huge wealth inequality gap that we're looking to close. And we can't wait on big business. We can't wait on big government. So the whole job of MOSCA is to bring people's awareness level to the point to say, listen, we can do this. They're not counting on us to basically collaborate and cooperate. They're counting on us to have all these prejudices and all these isms that allows us to dilute our power economically. We can't play and fall into that game. So unlike services that we're all familiar with, like Venmo and PayPal, that rely on traditional financial systems for permission to transfer money, the Citizen Wallet is decentralized, you guys. I came from another iteration that wasn't decentralized. All right. They claimed to be decentralized, but they weren't. It was completely centralized. What's cool about what we have our hands on is like literally you can go and withdraw your money today. You can withdraw some today. So let's say if you want to withdraw $100 and you say, oh, I meant to take out $125 for this particular bill. You can go right back and take out another $25. But in other, establishments, you have to wait to receive your money. People, this is pure decentralization. And so any two people anywhere in the world can send money to each other because it's permissionless. We've removed the intermediaries. There's power in that. All right. I mean, we really do have a tool here that can help anyone become economically free if they understand it. And the tool that we are providing with people all around the world is transaction control. And I'm going to elaborate on that here more later, okay? Every transaction involving the Citizen Wallet is executed on the blockchain. So it's similar to a bank's ledger or log of customer funds going in and out of one bank to another. This is literal. So what we're doing is connecting wallets all around the world, building an international bank collectively, and generating unavoidable cash flow in the process. And that will continue forever. But then on top of that, we're going to be moving into phase 2 and phase 3. We're no different than how PayPal first started and then they evolved, right? We're no different than how Amazon first established being a bookstore online and they've evolved to what they are today. We're going to be doing the exact same thing. But in order to evolve, you have to have financial rails, team. Okay? So I want to talk to you guys about Web3 and the future of work. And I'm sharing this with you guys because we have to divorce ourselves from the old antiquated thought process around multi-level marketing, network marketing. All right. So many of us have been so ingrained, okay, in that process that what ended up happening is that we bring those old school thought process into a new era. People, it's 2025. I want to just give you guys some perspective here to help you guys really understand the value of what I'm saying. There's been different, eras in human, evolution. We used to be hunters and gatherers, right? Where we always moved around a lot. But when technology starts to happen and evolve, it changes the way in which we live as humans and how we operate. So we went from hunters and gatherers and then found a way to domesticate animals. So that was a way to be more efficient. So now we're able to become farmers. We didn't have to move around all the time. So we created the agricultural age. And so we were able to build farmland and civilizations there. But then there was more technological advancements from the cotton gin, railroads and things of that nature to the assembly line. And we went and transitioned from the agricultural age to the industrial age. And people started leaving, suburbia and going into urban areas, building up skyscrapers and things of that nature, midtowns and all that stuff. All of this was because of advancements in technology. It always fundamentally changes, the ground up underneath our feet. Well, then we moved into the information age, right? And now we had information right at our fingertips. And it started connecting us through social media and digital platforms and all that kind of stuff. And now because of blockchain, the Web3, where we're at today, what you have to understand is that we're now moving into the digital age where people are going to have avatars and people are going to be in AGI and all of these different technological advancements. We're in the age of abundance right now. Self-driving cars, right? Voice activation, and people still want to dig their heels in and trade hours for dollars because they haven't peeped the game. There is no need to necessarily do that like before because of advancements in technology, artificial intelligence being your humble servant. And so getting involved in our ecosystem, you're going to be onboarded into the Web3 world in the future of work, which is all about flexibility, time location, right? Time freedom, excuse me, money freedom, location freedom, right? Decentralization is where it's at right now, you guys. So we're moving away from the top-down centralization model to flattening that pyramidal structure because of decentralization. Teams, right? We have various teams that's a part of the entire Mosca community, but we are a global community. And so there's different teams out there, but those are like our cousins, right? Aunts and uncles, things of that nature, but we're one big family because we understand the importance of cooperative economics. And so we have to embrace each other's differences. We have so much diversity in our team. And so we're not caught up in skin color, religious persuasion, none of that stuff here, because everyone deserves the opportunity to grow financially and take care of their families and thrive. Make sense? So having said that, I want to introduce you guys to the Web3 lifestyle. This is the future of work. This is what everyone's going to be doing, right? And we're sitting at the table. We are the tip of the spear, bringing this to people that we know, like, and trust and love, right? We're pioneering this deal. And any pioneer, you're going to have arrows in your back. We get it. But guess what? It's worth it. So Mosca is a collaborative people earning money together, volunteering, learning, sharing, and inventing the future of work. That's going to give the most people the opportunity to generate monthly recurring revenue, not one-time rewards, monthly recurring revenue, meaning that not only is it going to show up this month, but it will show up next month and then some. Then the month after that, it's going to show up with that and then some. That's the purpose of this. So this is only made possible by cooperative economics, not competition, but complete cooperation, lowering our egos and saying, you know what, there's enough to go around. And there really, really is. You know, if I saw somebody taking deep breaths, I'm not going to tell them, hey, stop taking deep breaths because you're taking all the air. There's plenty to go around. There's plenty of money to go around. They're able to print it out of thin air. It's just that when you control the flow of money, like centralized authorities can, there's an illusion of scarcity. But I'm here to let you guys know there's plenty to go around, especially if it can be created out of thin air. It just has to be organized in a way that it touches the most people possible. And that is what Mosca has created. So this is all made possible, once again, by cooperative economics, the promise of blockchain technology, and smart contract automation. So team, this is a global movement, right? And this is for those of you that want to live with intention, meaning we don't have to gamble here. We don't have to guess. You know, there's a lot of people, elites, if you will, I'll just say that. And this is not about revolting against them. So this has nothing to do with being reactionary. It's just observing what's going on in our world. They want to have you believing that the only way that you can get ahead is that you have to be lucky, right? That you have to do, you know, FanDuel or DraftKings. Sports betting became legal. You know, in a lot of different cities, they're putting up casinos because or you have to play numbers or bet on horses, right? So they want you to think that the only way that you can get ahead is to be lucky. And I'm here to tell you guys, no, you don't. It has nothing to do with luck. We put together a plan. This is a plan that anyone can use with predictability to have an outcome for them. But it's going to take self-discipline. And this is about having personal agency, meaning personal control over your life. So this is for people who really desire time freedom, money freedom, and location freedom. Every line of code was put in there with that intention in mind. Okay? So having said that, you guys, I'm going to talk to you guys about how to invite and share your Mosca platform. So I just shared a little bit of a vision with you, but vision is what we see, but culture is what we do. And I want to talk to you guys about the income producing activities and the approach that we need to take in terms of how to invite and share the Mosca platform. We have to be uniformed in this because what duplicates, duplicates. All right. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is that we really have created a financial blueprint that removes all guesswork. You don't have to gamble. You don't have to hope and pray if it's going to work. It's just a matter of executing a game plan that was designed for 100% of the people to win. It really is just that straightforward. And so the first thing is understanding defining wealth. And all wealth is when your monthly recurring revenue or your cash flow covers your lifestyle costs or your current monthly expenses. Now, I know a lot of you want to, make $1 million a month, $100,000 a month, and some of you will do that. But let's focus on first and foremost, what is your current monthly expenses? Or what are you currently making right now trading hours for dollars? If it's $4,000 a month, great. We need to go ahead and focus on covering that first before we talk about the big dollars. If it's $5,000 a month, great. Let's talk about getting that done. All right. Because if we can cover what you're currently making at your job, now you no longer have to exchange time for money. And now you can start dreaming a little bit bigger. Right. So the whole idea and one of our guiding principles, and this is something I live by and a lot of our leaders understand and live by as well, is cash flow is more valuable than cash accumulation. This is something that you really, really have to embrace. It's so true. Cash flow is definitely more valuable than cash accumulation. If you don't believe me, ask the athletes that have made $100 million in their career and they're broke because their bills are residual in nature. So once they're not able to throw a football, shoot a basketball, run up and down the court or field or whatever the case may be, their bills don't stop coming in. Their overhead doesn't stop clocking in, right? So that's why Magic Johnson is successful post-basketball. Michael Jordan post-basketball, because he gets cash flow on all the Air Jordan paraphernalia and all the different things, or they buy percentages in companies because they've come to understand that when their playing days are over or your working days are over, what do you have in place that you have continuous ongoing revenue coming in that's greater than your monthly responsibilities? So having said that, know your lifestyle costs. Ask all of your friends, the people that you're looking to partner with, let them know this is a real plan. Calculate and write down your current lifestyle costs. And that is basically whatever it is, whatever you're making on a monthly basis, you need to know that because words talk, numbers scream. Understand, that's another one of our principles. Words talk, but numbers scream. So write down your current lifestyle costs. And then next, we can now, once we know that, we can write the number of weeks it will take you to achieve that lifestyle cost. So think about this. Literally, and this is just the enterprise here. Let's say somebody says, well, I make, $5,000 a month. Great. We can go here and say that's going to take you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, between 5 and 6 weeks. In 6 weeks, that's $6,383. That supersedes your $5,000 a month in income. See, people, this is a blueprint and a plan, right? And then once you know your numbers, the people that you're identifying and they're identify what their lifestyle costs. Someone may say it's $2,000 a month. Great. We can get there in 5 weeks, right? Some people may say it's $12,000 a month. Great. We can go ahead and get there in 7 weeks. Does that make sense, everyone? So really understand, there's no gambling here. None. And the way in which this behaves, and it was designed on purpose, understand that when you hit your lifestyle costs and you start growing beyond that, by definition, your 3 besties are 1 stage or week behind you. 100% mutual benefit. There's no reason that we have to sell anyone on 100% mutual benefit. Everybody should want to be a part of something where everyone can win, where it's win, win, win. So that's not something you have to sell anyone on. You just have to prove it to them. The numbers here talk. They're screaming at us. Make sense? So you want to take the time to do that. And then number 3, start building your community. Identify 3 trustworthy partners. You know who you can trust, right? Who are the people that if you were stranded on the side of a road Who would be the first three people that you would call? Those are the people that you need to go to, right? Whenever you're down and out and you need to have a shoulder to crown, those are the people that you need to go to, right? See, we got to get trust back. That's what cooperation. See, lack of trust is fatal to a free society. We get so caught up in prejudices and all these different isms that it's diluting our power economically, and that's by design. We have to transcend that, team, right? I heard something a mentor shared to me with me years ago, and I live by it to this day. And he said the highest form of intelligence is the ability to observe without judgment. I want to repeat that for those of you that are taking notes. The ability to observe without judgment, it truly is the highest form of intelligence. All right. And so we have to remove all of that prejudice and judgment so that we can create a free society. And so you're looking for at least three trustworthy partners that are going to lock arms with you and say, you know what, I'm not going anywhere until we get this thing done. And then they turn around and do the exact same thing because it's 100% mutually beneficial, but it's also 100% a choice and not a chance. Who would not want to have the answers to the test? Right? So this is what we have our hands on. Okay. So let's talk about the system approach that we're creating for our teams worldwide. All right. This is critically important. And it looks like, just real quickly, it looks like there's quite a few people in the waiting room. This is not an overview. So unless they didn't have their cameras on, I'd like to have them in there just in case. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the systems approach. It's a mechanism for giving you back more life. That's what a system is designed to do, not to make things more difficult for you, but to give you more life. So whenever I've created, I've done business, these are the questions that I ask myself. And I want to encourage you guys that you ask yourself these questions as well when you're building your business, because a lot of people are personality dependent versus system dependent. So number one, how can I get my business to work, but without me? You want a business like that, because the reason why people get into business and what wealthy people understand, they value freedom over money. Money is just the tool. Freedom is the goal, right? That's where the cash flow is more important than cash accumulation. Number two, how can I empower my strategic partners to work, but without my constant interference? You don't want to build a business where you're running an adult daycare center, right? So we have to have a system in place that everybody complies with, because what duplicates, where it's not personality dependent, because we want to see everyone win. Number three, how can I systematize my business in such a way that it can be replicated thousands of times so that the last citizen in can run the business as smoothly as the first? That's the intent of a system. It's not to harm or shackle any of you that have elite talent, right? But if you want to see other people win and you want to build an international bank, you have to have something in place that the person with the lower skill set can do. That's what most is looking to do and put in place. Number four, how can I own my business and still be free of it? I want you guys to think about that, where you're receiving daily residual deposits. People are receiving dings in their email, by the minute, on the hour, throughout the day. We've gamified it so that you guys have fun with this, that, man, I just got more money. I just got more money coming in. And you're living your life, right? You're not stressing. You're not exchanging time for money. You've done the one-time execution. You've taught it to three people who turn around and do the exact same thing, get it out of the way, and watch your life change and transform. Okay? Number five, how can I spend my time doing the work I love rather than the work I have to do? Some of you, you have artistic dreams. Maybe you want to be a singer or an artist, or you want to write a book, but you can't do that because you're struggling financially, trading hours for dollars. But now we have a system. Because you're your own bank, you can go ahead and pick up a second language. You can go after your goals and dreams and start doing the things that you love. That was the intent of putting Mosca together and having this systems approach. So having said that, you guys, let's play baseball. I want to make it fun for you. And this is also designed to help you to understand. This is the system that we're implementing, within Mosca. And so some of you understand the rules of baseball, right? So here's the deal. Go here. Obviously, you have to pitch, right? Meaning you have to pique interest. And if somebody, hits the ball, you don't want to go from home plate to second base, right? You have to go to first base first, right? Otherwise, you're out. Make sense, everybody? So we want to keep it system dependent. So the whole idea of the pitch is your peaking of interest. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that in just a moment. You want to keep it extremely simple, okay? Less is more. So once you're peaking interest, the whole goal now is to get your people to first base as quickly as possible. Now, what's first base? First base is going to be like a Zoom screen share where you're simply able to press play. All right, we already have videos in the back office. We're going to probably add a couple more of different leaders doing a presentation so that you can choose. But can you imagine making a phone call to somebody, having them come into your Zoom room instantly, and you edify the presenter, and then you simply press play and allow someone that can effectively do a presentation do it for you, and it's duplicatable. Make sense? So you don't have to sit back and wait for a live overview. You can have this in pocket, and then if they don't like it afterwards, or they need to see it again, then you invite them to a live overview. Make sense? So now, once they go and they watch, a press play overview, take them to step number 2, space number 2, right? You're going to just simply at that moment in time, just invite and submit their information. You're going to put in their first name, last name, email address, and phone number, and hit the submit button, and they're going to get the email with your referral code attached to it. And this is something that you can do in your Zoom screen share so that they can see you demoing the simplicity of you building your own international bank right from your own command center that I'm going to share with you guys here in just a moment. So then from there, after they've submitted it, take them to third base. And we have certified onboarding specialists that for those of you that don't want to necessarily onboard or you're new to blockchain, we don't want to have any stickiness in the conveyor belt. So now we have people that are volunteering to become onboarding specialists and have them do it. You can pass it off to them in your back office in the Zoom screen share. You can click on one of these onboarding specialists and you can say, okay, what time works best for you? You're going to need maybe about, 30 minutes, hour tops, depending on what's going on with your technology and things of that nature. What's the best time for you? And as the inviter, you're going to set them up for their own onboarding specialist, giving them the white glove treatment. Some of you may want to go ahead and do it yourself. That's fine too, but this is an option for you within our system. Make sense? And then after they've been onboarded, the onboard is going to go ahead and get their accounts funded and activated. They're going to see the confetti fly down, and you've just scored another run. And we're going to duplicate that process, you guys. So once again, home plate, just the invite and pitch. Keep it simple. All right? Take them to first base, which is host a Zoom screen share. If you're fearful of presenting, don't worry about it. Edify the presenter, which is very, very important. Press play and allow that to work for you. Then take them to second base. Submit an offer to join. Put in their basic information and hit submit. All right. That email is coded to your referral code. And they're going to need that when they go to the onboarding specialist, which is third base. Schedule the onboarding. And then this is a simple rinse and repeat system. Now, if they're not ready to accept your offer at that moment in time, because maybe they need a second or third look, then invite them to the next live event. Okay? It's extremely simple to do. So we've gamified it and kept it extremely simple so that it doesn't require a great deal of skill set to be successful here. Just follow the system, be system dependent. Okay? So let's talk about real quickly how to invite. Okay? Effectively. So here's the first tip that I want you guys to have. When it comes to inviting someone, you have to have excitement and urgency. We're not talking about hype here. Okay, we don't need to hype. Okay, never text someone and invite, especially when you're talking about a multi-million-dollar offer. I mean, come on, team, let's be professional. Every day, someone's hit me up in my DM, texted me as if I'm just sitting around saying, I knew you were going to reach out to me about this next great opportunity. I mean, think about that. if you're going to ask someone for their hand in marriage, or on the other side, someone wants to be asked to be married, if you're female, whatever the case may be, you wouldn't want that to happen through a text message. You'd kind of want that to be a more of an intimate, personal deal. So it's the same thing. I see so much lack of professionalism in the people-to-people space, and it reeks of desperation when you just text someone out the blue, hey, check this out. I'm just telling you guys, think about how you want to be approached, right? So pick up the phone, all right? Just, pick up the phone or DM someone and say, hey, is it okay if I call you? There's something, I don't know what you have going on. I'd be interested in catching up to see what you got going on. But I know we've crossed paths in the past. I'd love to call you and connect with you and compare notes even. Whatever the case may be, just keep it professional. But this is really supposed to be a warm market business. So contact a cousin or whatever the case may be, or a coworker or a friend, and you want to, with excitement and urgency, call them up, and this is all you want to say. Hey, look, Terry, I want to go into business with you, man. I want to go into business with you. That's intimate when you ask somebody, tell somebody, I want to go into business with you, right? Now, logically, a lot of them are going to be like, oh, really? Okay. What's it about? How about being our own bank or having our own bank? Look, Terry, this is an extremely exclusive deal, right? And the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is because, the truth, as you guys see, doesn't need a lot of words. It's the lies that, require a lot of elaboration. So don't talk too much, So listen, it's about being our own bank. This is an extremely exclusive deal. And then what you're going to simply do, so that you don't have to entertain a whole lot of questions, immediately invite them to attend the meeting. This is your press play meeting, or it can be the live meeting. If that's your preference, I suggest do the press play, because what duplicates. You want to show them that you really are running a business. So you can say, I'm hosting a strategic partner meeting on this date and time, and I'll be able to, supply you with all the details then, and you can get all your questions answered. So you can even do that immediately, team. Like if somebody says, okay, be in your own bank, say, hey, check this out. Jump on the Zoom with me real quick. I want to show you something. I'm excited. I haven't been this excited in years. And you can literally do it right there. You should be able to get your 3 people within 24 hours with what we got set up for everybody around the world. Okay? So all of this is going to be in your back office for you to review and all that kind of stuff. But practice. Once again, simple scales, fancy fails. Just invite. If it's going to be a meeting that's going to be later on, all right, send them a reminder text with the Zoom link details 30 minutes before the meeting starts, right? But keep it extremely, extremely simple. And this is something that anyone can do, all right? So when it comes to the press play strategic partnership meeting, all right, what you're simply going to do, for those of you that are doing it and you invite them to your Zoom room, you want to do a welcome introduction. All right, you just want to simply, be excited. You want to have posture. Ask them to remove any distractions for the next 30 minutes. But the most important thing, this is where you come into play. Your ability to edify the presenter. When people send out a video and all that, they don't know who they're listening to. It could be Bozo the Clown. And so it's so important that you edify, not edify, but edify the presenter. Because if you do a good job of edifying the presenter powerfully, then it's going to command the attention of the guests. Don't edify, edify. Make sense? So then you're going to simply press play, share screen, and then share sound. And we're going to have a video tutorial there for those of you that are new to Zoom. That's going to explain all that for you in the PDF form. Okay. And you may want to test, all your stuff before the meeting starts, just to prevent any hiccups. All right. Whenever I'm doing a meeting or training or getting ready to meet with someone, I typically get in maybe like 15 minutes early just to make sure everything is working properly. Because why? We're professionals, right? So there's still going to be some technological hiccups from time to time. That comes with the territory. But let's try to be prepared and make sure that we can kind of circumvent and mitigate a lot of the hiccups by being prepared. And then after the presentation, steps after the Zoom meeting, yes, they're ready to rock and roll. like we said, submit your partnership offer and then schedule their onboarding. Put in their basic information, schedule the onboarding right there. They're able to see it like, oh, this is cool, right? And then they're going to get notifications of the onboarding, email notifications and all that, even a reminder. If they have questions after the press play Zoom, answer what you can, maybe do a three-way call, or simply direct them to the next live meeting. But, keep it simple. And for those of you that may be fearful to talk to people in that environment, understand, be willing to be bad before you're good and good before you're great. Because as we all have heard, that you'll never be great if you're not willing to be bad first. All right? So, when it's time to get started, once again, after that Zoom meeting, you're going to just simply, from your inviter's Mosca back office, right? So if you're the inviter, right, it's going to be from your back office. If you have somebody that actually brought people to it, then you got to make sure it's from their back office so that the email is coded to their referral code, all right? Enter in their basic information. Then simply schedule with the onboarding specialist, right? Identify the best time for the new citizens onboarding, and then repeat. They're going to schedule a strategic partnership meeting as well. You want to have that happen within the next 48 hours of them getting started. We want to start moving with extreme speed because money loves speed. Okay? I want to shift gears real quick, and I want to give you guys an update on the new site that we have coming out. We're working on it, and it should be up and live. The goal is to have it live and in Technicolor by next Saturday, by the Locker Room next Saturday, Friday or Saturday. We'll keep you guys posted. But I want you guys to know that what we've done is we've aligned ourselves only with people that love what they do. All right. Get in the habit of just doing things with people that actually love what they do. The developer of Mosca, he was vetted, and I picked him because he loves what he does. And you guys are going to meet him on one of our locker rooms if you haven't already. Okay. His name is Kevin. All right. The web designer. All right. And then he developed the front end and connected it to the back end. He loves what he does. When I vetted him, I asked him some strong questions. He showed me the material, gave me insight in ways that I didn't even realize user interface and user experiences are connected and how separate they are as well. And so this guy that is doing this for us is top notch, and he's a part of our team. And so what I want you guys to look at, I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek. These are just still shots right now. But this globe, so your landing page, this globe here that you see, it's going to be spinning, okay? And the lines are going to be moving, really speaking to the fact that we're connecting these citizen wallets around the world, all right? Which is super cool. And this is going to be different. It's going to say the future of, just like it does now, and it's going to change the future of giving, the future of entrepreneurship, right? The future of, that's going to change. And then the words here is going to say, banking is necessary, but banks are not, okay? But that globe is going to be spinning, and you log in and sign up here, all right? So that's how that's going to look on this page, and then this globe is going to be spinning. Super cool Web 3.0. This is going to be, for those that want to sign up, this is what's it's going to look like here. Obviously, the globe will be spinning, and you put in the basic information, and you'll be able to connect your wallet and things of that nature. I want you guys to be proud of when you show this to your friends and family that we have invested money into making sure they realize that they have the opportunity to build a multi-million-dollar operation here, okay? That this is not a Rudy Poof fly-by-night operation. All right, this is going to be for the login. Okay, now here's your back office. Check that out, you guys. Super clean and snappy. All right, it speaks of richness. It speaks of something to be taken very, very seriously. Okay, and obviously the globe here. Just to give you an example of what I mean by the gentleman that actually doing the design and development for us. I said, well, can that globe, this globe, these half globes here spin? And he said, no, let me correct you on this. He said, this is about coming back here and going to work. It's not about the ooh and ah of a globe spinning. You want to make sure that people come back here and know this is about conducting business. And I love that because he's right. This is about you coming back here and building your own international bank and start thinking like Jamie Dimon. Jamie Dimon is the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, right? What is he focusing on? He's focusing on depositors. He's focusing on bank accounts being opened up. Make sense? So you want to have that same kind of mindset. So you'll be able to click on, activate either or. You're going to still experience the confetti, which is like your ribbon cutting. You guys need to understand that we thought about everything. This is a big deal. So that confetti is your ribbon cutting for your international bank that you're actually building. That's willable, sellable. You can give it away. It's yours. Then once you have the confetti and everything fly, you're going to see the numbers pop up here. Okay. Hopefully you guys like the look and feel of this deal. Over here, you're going to be able to see your notifications. This is another thing that he shared. All right. He was like, why have notifications over here in the main menu when intuitively it should be over here? So the bell will be up here and you'll have the red 1, 2, 3, whatever the notifications. And naturally, when you first come into your back office, you want to go there when you see that up in the upper right-hand corner, and you'll be able to see you've received a reward. Please check your dashboard to confirm your new balance, and you can mark as red there. Really, really cool and intuitive in terms of how it flows and behaves. Okay, here's the Citizen Wallet is going to be. All right, right now we have it vertical, and he laid it out this way so that it was just a lot of wasted space around it. Obviously, the mobile version, okay, you're going to be able to see in the mobile version, it's going to be vertical, but it's really super cool how this is going to look and behave. Once again, we put this in place with a spirit of excellence so that you guys can really understand that you have a command center to build your own bank. Okay. Profile. All right. This is going to be what your profile looks like. And your profile picture is going to be down here. Have a nice professional picture here. All right. It'll say Mosca World with your email address and all that kind of stuff there. Your name, email address, and phone number, your wallet information there for you. Really laid out nicely and clean. Once again, spirit of excellence, something you should be excited about. That think about this is part of your $28 or $127 a month subscription. You have this in the palm of your hand, your own command center to make money as quickly and as abundantly as you and your team wants to. Nobody in your way, just your imagination. Okay. You're cooperative. Okay. You're going to have your total over here. You're going to be able to see earnings and potential. He just put this in here for now, but obviously you're going to have, if you're a citizen, you're going to have a total here, but then you're going to see the potential of what you could earn if you were an enterpriser, right? Which is really, really cool. And then when you're ready to upgrade, you'll be able to click that button and upgrade and just simply pay the difference there. When you guys are utilizing and looking at your cooperative, this is how you want to look at it. If you go into your cooperative and you're looking at the 10-week game plan, you want to go and look at, because you'll be able to see the earnings of your 3. And if your 3 is not right behind you, lock and step, you need to have a conversation. Say, listen, what do we need to do? Right? I don't want to outpace you. We're getting wealthy together. We need to identify your 3. So it's a tool that you'll be able to use so you can see what they're earning, just your 3, okay, what they're earning. And we wanted to keep it just that simple so that you can focus on the income producing activity that you can actually control and work with. Okay. And so really use that back office the way in which it's intended to be used. Then you're going to have analytics. Once again, words talk, numbers scream. The analytics page is for you. I'm big on numbers. And so it's going to allow you to see, okay, what you earned today, and you're able to compare it to maybe last week. All right. What you earning this month and compare it to last month. And now you're able to see, if it's down, you're able to think, okay, what did I do last month? Okay, that I'm not doing this month in terms of why it's down. And you can make corrections. Think about like it's a car dashboard. When certain things pop up, like, oil change, like, it's time to go in and check your oil, right? And if you don't, you're going to ruin your engine, or the check engine light pops up, if that makes sense. So the analytics is going to be critically important for those of you that really want to build an international bank and see it grow. So everything that we're doing is create this command center for you so that you can build a multi-million-dollar business, you guys. Okay, your transaction history, all right, it's going to flow like this and look like this. You're going to be able to see your member-to-member transactions, you know, everything. And as you guys can see here, paid in Mosca. Many of you don't even understand that we have our own token within our ecosystem. And eventually we're going to be able to put that on an exchange, but we didn't want to lead with that. We've been a part of that whole ICO stuff. Oh, this is going to be the next Bitcoin. People, please. We just have to be realistic and build utility first, right? So we're building real utility first. And then what's going to happen is because we have real utility, and as we begin to attract merchants and things of that nature, now what's going to happen in the next, you know, phase 2 or 3, now we're going to be able to put, you know, our token, our native token on exchanges, and those people that are interested in, exchanging and trading tokens and all that kind of stuff, it's going to allow all of us to monetize off the Mosca token as well. That's going to be another revenue stream for all of our citizens and enterprises. So, you know, trust me when I tell you guys, this thing is going to 2 and 3 and 4 levels. We can pivot very, very quickly because we own the track without betting on the horses. All right. We're going to have a learning center. We already have a learning center in the current back office. Some of you may have witnessed that already with the press play video and all that kind of stuff. We're going to clean that up. And so it's going to look like this. And we're only going to put the stuff back there that you need to really build a strong business. We're not going to put a whole lot of fluff back there. We're going to put all the things that you need that's going to help you make money. All right. And help others make money that join forces with you. Okay. And so when you let's say, for instance, you click on, the future there for the overview, it's going to pop out for your Zoom screen share, and then you'll be able to press play after you edify, and it'll look like this for your users. I want to make sure that all the guests get to a quiet location, if you don't mind, and just put your head and heart on sponge, because the information that I'm going to be sharing with you can absolutely change your freaking life. Okay? So we put that in place, you guys, for you. So now that when your people are looking at the presentation, they're going to feel like they're a part of it, right? So they see other people in the screen as well. We want them to feel as close to it being live as possible so that you can get the best experience. Now I want to play this short video before we wrap this thing up. And I want to entertain some questions. We went a little bit longer than I wanted to today, but I think it was important. There are people out there that have this question, what if I can't find 3? I want to share something with you guys that I've shared before that I've come to understand in life. You don't experience life. You only experience what you focus on. So stop asking that question. The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is in the questions that they ask themselves. A successful person will say, I only have to find 3 people that want to be their own bank. That's money in the bag. Unsuccessful people say, well, what if I can't find 3? That comes from your experience from other deals that have absolutely nothing to do with what we have our hands on. Those trading platforms, percent daily programs, all those things, it's nothing. There's no gambling here. This is about digital real estate. So your inability to find 3 has nothing to do whether this project works or not, or the validity of it. I want to play this short video and help you understand what do I mean by that, because some of you are asking yourself that question, and what you're doing is you're wasting time. People, get 3. Stop crying over something that is low-hanging fruit. Identify 3 people that simply want to be their own bank, be in an environment that's 100% mutually beneficial, that is 100% a choice and not a chance, literally speaking. So this is what Mosca is all about, you guys. So banking is necessary, but banks are not. I hope you guys are able to get something out of today. We're fired up over here relative to what we got going on, you guys. This is by far the best project on the planet today. You guys should be really, really excited about that. And when you're talking to people, it's just simply a transference of your belief and understanding. And that's what I wanted to get across to you guys. And I'm going to entertain some questions, but I want to share this because some people ask, well, Greg, where did Mosca come from? Right. And so I want to help you guys understand, actually where it came from, because I want you guys to really know that this thing was divinely orchestrated. All right. We came from a different iteration that we believed in. It was working for some time, but it wasn't what it was supposed to be. And so it wasn't a matter of wanting to necessarily move. It was just that we have a fiduciary responsibility to those that believe in our leadership, that we were forced to. And we wanted to create an environment that had integrity with it. And so some people say, well, you should have did it a couple of years ago. It's like, we weren't ready a couple of years ago. You have your time, but then there's the creator's time, if that makes sense to everyone. And so this has been divinely orchestrated. So what ended up happening is there was something that came across, my desk, and I had heard about susus and all these different things before. And like many of you, I had a negative look at susu. I didn't even understand it, but I just thought it was like gifting, if you will. And so I had a negative connotation about it. But what ended up happening, I was then taken to something that was called a ROSCA. And it stands for Rotating Savings and Credit Association. You can look it up on Investopedia. Rotating Savings and Credit Association. So I said, okay, I looked at it, and it's an informal financial institution. And basically they were talking about in different parts of the world that people use these rotating savings and credit associations. And so like in Africa, it's called a susu. But in Latin America, it's called a tanda. In China, it's called a hue. In America, they call it maybe, kind of gifting or cooperative, if you will, from that standpoint. So I started looking into the rabbit hole and started realizing that the cooperative economics have been around since 200 BC. And I'm a kid from New York City, and I was always fascinated that when I went into Midtown, that I saw Chinatown. And I was always trying to figure out that why do I feel like I've been transported into China and I'm here in New York City, because they own all the buildings. I'm talking about blocks and blocks of buildings, all the signs, everyone speaking Chinese, and come to find out that they used ROSCA, they call it a hue over there, and they were buying buildings, $30 million without taking out a bank loan. They didn't have access to banking. And so it helped me to understand that here in the Western part of the world, you guys, what we do is we compete with one another like crabs in a barrel, right? We got to understand cooperative economics, and people in other parts of the world that we think we're so much better than and we're so much smarter than, they're more smarter than we are. They understand the power of cooperative economics. We got to catch up to them. Over in Nigeria, they understand blockchain way better than us, right? So we got to catch up to them. So this idea, this arrogance that we have over here in the United States of America, we got to cut that off at the neck. So why do I say all that? So when I saw that, I saw it was a ROSCA, Rotating Savings and Credit Association. I said, you know what? We got something better. We have a Mobius Savings and Credit Association. There is no rotating. There is no waiting for your turn. Every time a digital asset opens up, 10 people get paid, not just once, but residually. So Mosca basically combined ancient wisdom, right? Ancient wisdom, married it to the promise of blockchain technology,